Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Rifle Tour channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about keeping the beasts fed. Now I had alluded to this subject several years ago in a video called SHTF, the Lee Enfield rifle. However, I'm going to be covering some of the similar bases on this video, but with a little bit of a twist. Now, excuse me, I went to the gun store because I wanted to pick up some more projectiles, some Hornady interlocks, 174 grain round nose bullets for the 303, and to my shock and dismay, as you can see here, but the price is now for 100 of these 312 inch diameter round nose bullets. So we're over 66 bucks now, including tax. So that's 66 cents per round. And that starts to get pretty expensive after a little while. And you start asking yourself, okay, well, geez, am I actually getting much in the way of financial benefit for hand loading my own ammunition? So that's a very valid question to ask yourself, because you have to take into consideration the cost of your dies, and you gotta, if you're going to be pouring your own bullets, just the cost of your everything is expensive these days. So what the hell is a guy to do? You start adding the cost of all of these different things up that you see here, and it really starts to add up so far as your upfront investment, your upfront cost is concerned. Like I had made a decision quite a long time ago that my go-to rifle is going to be the Lee Enfield rifle. Here we have a 1945 M47C number 4 Mark 1T, which is a sniper rifle. It doesn't have the original sniper optical sight on it, but this is a beautiful 303 British rifle. This is probably something that I'd be going to the gun safe to grab if I could only grab one. But you got to be able to keep that one rifle fed. So there are some very, very genius people, I would say. The ingenuity is fantastic, where they're starting to realize just the cost of certain things, and they're trying to find ways of getting around that. So this chap, who will remain nameless right now, Courtney Castings, I'll just say that, has manufactured some of his own bullets. I'll read you the letter here. No, you're going to love this. Now these bullets are made out of 223 casings, or 5.56 NATO. These ones are made by IVI. Still got the primer in it. Okay, and he's bonded lead into this jacket, poured hot lead into this jacket, sized it, and trimmed it. It's swaged. And I'll show you some close-ups here. And this bullet, actually just put a few in there. Oh, I'll throw some of these in there just to show you some comparison bullets. It's a Hornady 312s, and we'll put the Cam Pros in there as well. Again, Cam Pro, Canadian company, making Canadian bullets for a reasonable price, in my opinion. Now we'll just zoom in a little bit here for you. Now, look at the tippity top of these bullets. So there's a little bit of variability, but not too bad. I've measured these. I took 10 sample bullets and I mic'd them, and they're averaging 0.115, 0.3115 inches. So kind of in between a 311 and in between a 312. And they're averaging around 179.7, 179.8 grains in weight. These are 180s, these are 180s. right? So essentially they're all 180 grain bullets. So we're going to do some testing with these bullets, and we're going to see. I am a little bit concerned about the primer slipping out, but after each shot I'll just do a bore check to make sure I don't have any debris inside the barrel. Well, just in case a primer or a piece of primer does actually come out in these spent primers, I shouldn't be too worried about it, because this is military brass and those are crimped in place. However, just be extra cautious. Check it out. So if there is something that can be done to keep the pigs fed, to keep the beasts fed, you should consider doing it. Anyway, I'm going to read you this letter. As you can see, I've recycled 5.56 blanks to make the jackets for your bullets. These careless reserves dropping blanks all over Crown Land when they're having their exercises. Yeah. All over Crown Land. Maybe I shouldn't have read that. Last summer, I cut several hardened blanks in anticipation of getting the swage dies. Once I got rolling, I realized the jackets were a bit long for a conventional round-nosed bullet. So rather than trim them, I made these flat points. In hindsight, I think these will be great for feeding from a Lee Enfield magazine, as the jackets are fairly thick, so a more open point should aid expansion at 303 velocities. That's very true. So the Lee Enfield is a very steep feeding ramp, and generally, in my experience from running Spitzer point bullets, is that exposed lead tip has a tendency to be smushed over after it hits that feed ramp and gets chambered. What that does for accuracy is probably not great. The flux for core bonding changes the cases from brass to copper color during the final cleaning. I'm pretty happy with that as well. I had to draw the cases down in separate operations to get the correct caliber, and that extra brass flowed up towards the nose, creating a tear-dropped cavity, much like seen in bullets like the Nosler AccuBond. Feel free to be brutally honest in your testing. I have no financial loss at stake, and I'm just curious how these stack up against the commercial offerings. Thanks. So that's seriously cool. I'm looking forward to testing. I got a nice load of IMR 4350 that I'll use, and maybe what I'll do is I'll roll up some, whether shoot at a stump, a rotten stump, or some rotten firewood, or some rolled up newspapers. I'm not sure. Get them all wet and just see what we get for expansion, see what we get for accuracy, and compare them to some of these other bullets that you see here, as to what it is that they can do as well. This here is a Spear, by the way. This one there, Spear 180 grain bullet, and just kind of see what the competition has to offer. Who says a guy can't make his own bullets? I think that's fantastic. So what this really says to me is that whether it's price gouging or exceedingly high taxes, which is a form of economic warfare, really, against your own citizenry, is that no matter what you do, human beings, especially the caliber of the kind of people that are able to manufacture this in their home, you'll never be able to stop innovation, ingenuity, no matter how much you make it, how pricey you make it, right? You'll just force us to be innovative.